Okay, so let's review what we've done so far. I'll select my camera, double-click my camera to instantiate my 16:9 simple camera, delete anything that it creates in there. I'm also going to delete my directional light, don't need that, delete this default mesh, don't need that. I'll go down to my light polys. I'm going to instantiate a light poly basic, select the locator for that. I'm going to hold the control key while I rotate this around. W for move, drag that straight on up so it's above the scene. I'll go to my meshes, double click my ramp. Notice that it adds it in the tree. I don't see it out here because remember we hid that. I'll go to my test sphere, show that, so that's visible. And for fun, let's actually take that test sphere. I'm going to grab its locator and just scale that on up so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to see. And then I'll go to my render presets, go to my dark environment, throw that in there, grab my render settings, get those in there. Now when I go to the render tab and turn on RayGL, suddenly we have a lit scene ready to go. So let's just look down at this a little bit, see if we can get a nice viewpoint on this. Something like so. I think that looks pretty decent. And also, actually, let's zoom back. And then I'm going to grab my camera. I'm going to go to the camera properties and increase the focal length maybe to 100 millimeters. So it's a little bit more of a zoom lens. That way we're not seeing any of the edges of our ramp there. That looks good. Something like that. I think that's going to make for a nice icon for our light poly. Okay, so let's take this. Let's actually just straighten out our camera a little bit so it looks nice and clean and even. So we'll just get rid of some of those really minor things. So everything is nice and centered and clean. Then I'm going to maximize this viewport. Make sure it's as big as it can be. And I want to leave it in RayGL mode so that that light poly and the locators for the light poly are still visible. And in fact, I'll just grab that. I'm going to put the controls out here in space so we can really see what this is going to look like. And this can serve as the icon for our light poly rig. So with that, I'm going to go down to my snipping tool in Windows. And again, in the Mac, you can use the built-in screenshot functionality. I'll just take a screenshot of that. I'm going to save that on my desktop. Close it up. And then we'll go back to my layout. I'm going to go to my light polys, find my light poly basic, right-click that, say replace icon with image file. I can go to my desktop, find that capture I just created, and now I have a light poly icon in there. It makes it really easy to read, and I can see exactly what it is that I'm choosing. So I hope that helps. I hope that is a good starting point for beginning to create your very first lighting rigs. And trust me, this is going to get really super cool. We can do so much stuff with this. You just wait. You'll see.